Bloody football. Alright, let's begin. Welcome to my channel, guys. This is Bloody Football. I'm your host, Tarzan. You heard that right, Tarzan, spelled differently, but you heard that correctly. So, what is my intention with this channel? Well, my intention is to review and preview every games that takes place in the Premier League or something to do with the Premier League teams. So, if they're playing in the FA Cup, if it's important, if when United. If United meets City, United meets whatever team, and Chelsea, of course, whatever team Chelsea is playing, I will always going to cover it. But everybody else, unless it's an important game, I'm not going to cover it. But if it's in the Premier League, yes, I'll cover it. And my coverage will be from a biased Chelsea fan's point of view. I'll try to be as objective as I can be, but I don't want United to win. I don't want Spurs to win. I don't want City to win. I don't want Liverpool to win, because I want Chelsea at the top. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And with that being told, let's begin with the midweek preview, or shall we say the bloody midweek preview. Here we go. The first game was United versus Burnley. Well, it didn't go quite as we wanted to, as Chelsea fans. From a neutral fans' perspective, rather a boring game, unless you wanted United to demolish Burnley, which wasn't going to happen because Burnley was playing like they wanted to just go for 0-0, however you want to say it. But that wasn't going to happen. They should have had a red card with the Luke Shaw challenge. Some people would disagree, but if you're going to go for VAR and you see the start going in, like the start is really high up and just... It could be a straight red, but it wasn't anyway. VAR got it wrong again, and against Manchester United, I'm going to, be truthful. The Maguire goal that should have stood, he headed the ball before colliding with the defender. They claimed Burnley claimed the foul for, but all of that came for naught because Paul Pogba's volley. Ah, Jesus! I mean, Paul Pogba was the player of the game, without a shadow of a doubt. He was bossing the midfield. You could see conviction in his play. He wanted his team to win, and the volley, the way it went in, with a deflection and in between Nick Pope's legs. From a Chelsea fan's point of view, it's not what I wanted to see. I would have liked to see a draw, preferably a win for Burnley, but that wasn't going to happen the way they were playing until they conceded, and then they tried, but that went nowhere because they do not really have that kind of an end product. And United have found a team that works for them. Even on a day when Martial again misses a 1v1, which he should have scored. But anyway, point is, United wins. They go at the top of the table after 17 games, almost halfway through the season, with 36 points. It's not a lot for a team with 17 games under their belt and just 36 points to be at the top of the league. But saying that, Chelsea is at 26 points after 17 games, meaning we do not have any game in hand, and we are 10 points behind Man United. So this was the furthest result from what I wanted, and I want to do something with this channel that is, whoever is at the top of the league, they deserve to have the light, to have my light, to be of their color. So I'm going to choose this color for Man United because well, for Liverpool, you have to go with something more red. Something more Liverpool, something that I might hate a little bit more. But anyway, let's move on to the other game, Wolves versus Everton. The way I made that face, that's because I had to sit through. I don't like negative football, and that's what Carlo Ancelotti is doing with Everton. He's. I mean, I thought he was a manager that uses attacking, attacking play and whatnot. And I thought when he joined Everton, that in his proper first season, we were going to see some better football than that. But anyway, with Everton, Wolves, they played their normal football, which is attacking again and again and again. But Everton clearly did a wonderful job keeping Wolves at bay for most of the game. Saying that, the goal from Ruben Neves was quite nice. It was quite nice, but Iwobi started with a good goal to start the game, and then Keane went in and with a header from a corner to go 2-1 up, and they eventually kept it tight at the back, Everton that is, and Wolves tried and tried again. One thing I have to, because we play Wolves in a few games, and we have to be careful about how attacking Wolves are and how lack of defense we have in our midfield. I'm talking about Chelsea now. The game, the missing things in the midfield where we should have like a wall, it doesn't exist. Kante, can he do the job? I'm not quite sure, but I'll talk about Chelsea more tomorrow. No more here. I wanted to draw once again to kinda help Chelsea, because Chelsea faces Wolves quite soon. Also, Everton is ahead of us. A draw would have, kept them at 30 points, which is just 4 points ahead of us. But after the win, they have gone up to 32 points now, which means they're 6 points ahead of us, which is quite a lot. But that's enough. Carlo sucks. Don't know what else to say about that game. Carlo really sucks. I hate negative football, and from one negative football, let's go to the other negative football. Sheffield versus Newcastle. Jesus, was that that was a poor game. You could see a Newcastle side that has no idea what they're actually doing, because they're playing against Sheffield United, who had 2 points. After 17 games, they had 2 points, and Newcastle went against Sheffield, and they kept everyone other than Wilson at the back. So what happened is Sheffield got a penalty which they shouldn't have gotten, in my opinion, because the striker is pulling I forget the centre back's name. He's pulling the guy down. So if the ball hits the defender's hand, it's not really his fault. He's been fouled. What the VAR did not see the foul? I thought that was a foul. But they win. What can I say? It's good for Sheffield United. 5 points after 18 games now. If they are to rise from the ashes that they have been this season, which was just 2 draws before the game against Newcastle. But Newcastle was feeling like they could give 3 points away. I hope they feel similarly when they play against us in a few weeks, that they hand us the 3 points like they did to Sheffield United. There is no other way you could put this. Newcastle didn't even try to win it. They had no And Steve Bruce was complaining after the game. This should have gone that way. That should have. Yeah, that's true, Steve. But you know, it's quite shameful at the end of the day because you're going up against the worst team in the league with 2 points after 17 games, and you're playing with a mindset of lower division championship team. But you know, if you're feeling like you could give Sheffield 3 points, that's on you, Steve Bruce. Moving on to City versus Brighton. So Brighton is my local team. I live in Brighton. I probably shouldn't give that away, but so I don't support Brighton. But if Brighton is playing against somebody that's not Chelsea, I tend to back Brighton. I want Brighton to win that game. Just because I live here, I love the people here. I think people are quite cool here, especially Brighton fans. They're quite sweet to people that don't, fans from other clubs. But it was just a mismatch. I mean, Brighton did their absolute best, but it was a mismatch of a game where, yeah, City has some of their players missing. It doesn't quite feel that way because you got so many attacking players, especially Kevin De Bruyne. We got to talk about Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, I cannot talk about Chelsea and all the other teams here, and my frustration over Kevin De Bruyne being now a Premier League legend. I'm not going to even cover, sugarcoat it as something else. He has to go down as a Premier League legend. He should have been the a Premier League legend player for Chelsea, but instead he's going to be remembered as a Man City legend, which is quite painful for someone like me who followed his playing career when we sent him off to Germany, and I saw week out how well he was doing, and then Mourinho came. He called him back. The first thing KDB did that season, I still remember it. It was a through ball through he nutmegged somebody, and that's where the goal came from. And Jose still took him off, and from there on, we just didn't have KDB showing up, but more of Oscar. For some reason, we sold off Mata and Kevin De Bruyne to keep Oscar. So I hate you, Jose Mourinho. You ruined our chance of keeping a legend in the club, a legend in the making. What were you thinking? Anyway, enough rant about that. City played really well. So did Brighton. Especially some of the attacks Brighton did. I didn't expect Brighton to come out and attack like that, and I like it. I would like it more if they weren't so down at they're like 17th with 14 points, so they could have done with a draw at least. I mean, I wanted City to lose. I wanted City to maybe even draw, win. I didn't want it, but I expected it. Of course. We got to talk about the Foden goal as well. 20 years old. He is playing so well. I am so jealous. It hurts as a fan watching Foden play as well as like the way he just slopped that ball in at the bottom corner was just so cool at his age, and he plays like an aged player that has so much experience. There is no fear in his play, and look at Sterling. You'd probably laugh because he only scored 1 out of his last 4 penalties, and he should have buried that penalty. Saying that, the Brighton keeper did all right. He didn't do too much that was wrong. The Foden goal was, if you can pass the ball into the net, why not? And especially under Pep Guardiola, who's probably owns the manager's version of pass the ball into the net medal or whatever that is. Anyway, that's and one other thing I want to say about Foden. Other than being jealous of what a good player he is, the boy is basically, I mean, City is doing what Frank Lampard wanted with Chelsea. We wanted the interchange between players because Foden is playing on the left now. He is supposed to play in the midfield. He is good in midfield. He's good on the left. He can come centrally and score again and again. So you got Kevin De Bruyne, you got Foden, you got Sterling, you got Bernardo Silva, you got Gundogan. Oh my God, is Gundogan been performing when others are missing? So this is what City has got. They got a team that is working together. They're no longer leaking goals at the back, which was the problem in the beginning of the season. And most of all, they are amazing in attack. If they can keep a clean sheet, you'd bet your money that they will come out with a win. And they're getting there. They're kind of getting there. And as a Chelsea fan, would I want Man United to win or City to win if that was my choice at the end of the day, or Liverpool? Of course, I would want it to go to City. So, in that case, good result for Chelsea fans like me who cannot tolerate the Scousers and the Manx, but it is what it is. If anyone to win it, I hope City does it. They have one game in hand. If they win it, they will go just 1 point behind Man United, ahead of 2 points ahead of Liverpool, and they just might. Anyway, this last segment has gone way too long. Let's move on to the final game, which is a good end for a Chelsea fan. So the game was Spurs versus Fulham, a surprise game, because they were not supposed to. I mean, Fulham was not supposed to play anybody but Chelsea on Friday, so I was going to make a preview, a bloody weekend preview, tomorrow, which I'm still going to do, but Chelsea is playing on Saturday now, not on Sunday. I mean, not on Friday, and Fulham had a midweek game against Tottenham. What to say about that game? I thought Fulham was going to lose because they have been preparing to face Chelsea, who play attacking football. We like to keep possession. We like to cross the ball about 36 times per game into and hope, inshallah, the ball is gonna hit the net somehow. Even without any tall players in the game, even when there is no Abraham or Giroud, mainly, it's just cross the ball into the net. And I mean, if that's what they were preparing for, what a cross by Regulion! Oh my God, that was a cross. When he crossed the ball like that, I was thinking to myself, he was cheaper than Chilwell, but would I have him instead of Chilwell? No, because I really love Chilwell. Like, he has that attitude. He's English. I'm in England. I'm not English, but I'm in England, and I support England in the World Cup. And of course, I want English players to come into the club. So when Ben Chilwell came, I'm still on the train. But Regulion, what a player Spurs has got in their hands. Like, that boy can cross the ball so well. I mean, I'm not going to compare him to somebody like Ziyech this early. But keep your eye on Regulion. The boy has got pace. He has got a good feet that he could cross the ball perfectly, as well as some of our players. And I mean, we are clearly good at crossing the ball because we crossed the ball so many times into the bloody penalty box. But they did. Kane scored. Was a good goal. I thought, oh, there it goes. Now they're gonna, Kane is gonna pass the ball to Son. Son's gonna score, and they're gonna win. But no, thankfully it's still Jose Mourinho. Means you gotta be a bit more solid at the back, even against Fulham, um, because that means a lot to him. I get it, and thankfully that paid off for Chelsea fans because Fulham managed to come up with a win. I mean, sorry, managed to come up with a draw as well. I mean, might as well count it as a win because I thought Spurs was going to put 3-4 past Fulham, so ending in 1-1. It could have ended in 3, 4, 5 goals to Spurs, to be honest, because Spurs that they had chances. They had chances even when they were kind of sitting back, and the goalkeeper Areola did quite well to keep the score at 1. I mean, the goal Kane scored, nobody could save that. I mean, maybe Buffon on his prime day or Neuer, but I doubt it. You know. But other than that, Areola had a wonderful performance, and we're facing Fulham next. So what can I say? We will be able to have a shot at Fulham, but it has to be on target, and it has to be clinical for us to win against the side with just 12 points after 16 games. Fulham could have won the game, and it was a difficult chance for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, loanee from Chelsea. So my eyes were on him, and he didn't finish. I believe if he was the player, I thought if he is the player that we thought he was gonna be when he was playing under Sarri until he had his Achilles injury, which clearly messed him up. He didn't finish it, and Fulham went to draw. I mean, at one point I thought, Spurs has won the game. When Regulon scored, it was a good goal, not gonna lie. But it looked like offside. It was called offside right away, and thankfully it was offside. I mean, Son was offside. So the goal didn't count. So in terms of where Spurs is they are at 30 points after 17 games instead of 32 that they could have had if they were to. And that's the thing with Spurs. They have drawn 5 games where they have been ahead. And if they were to win those games, because at the end of the day, the 1-0 wins, the 2-3, if you just win by 1 goal, people can talk about people like me, people like, obviously more known YouTubers. They can say whatever they want about the style of play, but at the end of the day, result is all that counts. A proper result gives you, a win gives you 3 points. And how you get that win with a own goal, with a goal because somebody, the goalkeeper dropped the ball and it just went inside the goal, or if it was a wonderful volley from Paul freaking Pogba, it counts as 3 points. And on that note, I hope in the coming weeks Man United have a slump. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I hope that happens. I hope there's a chance for Chelsea to come back up on the table, because we're on the 9th place, and it looks almost deservedly, because we are drawn on points with Villa, and they have 2 games in hand. Villa, they barely survived on the last day last season. I mean, this is a red herring with Villa because they're playing wonderfully this season. But still, as a matter of perspective, we spent 220 million. I'm a Frank Lampard boy. I was his biggest fan. I can't remember the time when I wasn't a fan. And as soon as Frank Lampard joined Chelsea, it was like a dream coming true. Except now it looks like a nightmare. And I don't want Lampard to go. I want Chelsea to click in like they should. I hope we get less and less injuries. I mean, many people might laugh at me for saying the injury part, but let's be fair with us. We have had injuries either at right wing or left wing or right back or left back. Somebody is missing at some point, and we haven't really seen the dream team we thought we would see at Chelsea. And even if we do see that, which is, the 5 backs, including the goalkeeper, or who they should be. So Mendy, Silva, Zuma, left back, Ben Chilwell, right back, Reece James in the middle, Kante at the pivot with Havertz and Mount, and on the front 3, Werner, Pulisic, and Ziyech. I don't know if that would work, but I'll talk about that tomorrow in the bloody preview. There is a game tonight with Arsenal. I might cover it tomorrow. Depends on... I want Arsenal to lose because they're 3 points behind us. Behind Chelsea. Just 3 points. The Arsenal team that couldn't pass the ball a few weeks ago. Everybody was saying Arteta out. Arsenal is done. Arsenal is going to get relegated. They're just 3 points behind Chelsea. I mean, these days are hard. And I keep waiting for a positive result for the last month to start my channel, but I'm not going to count Morecambe. I don't know how to say that word, or the name of the club. But we got the people that should scored and the people that should get some assists did, and I hope we can win against Fulham. The 18th. They're in the 18th place with just 12 points. But we're gonna talk about it more tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked my video. If you liked it, please subscribe. And I will be creating content, like I said, bloody preview, bloody review, whether midweek or the weekend. I will be bloody here, and you can count on it from now on. I will be providing you with the content, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Bye.